Welcome back, and this is modeling the crate, adding details to the crate, video 2. So I went back and made adjustments. So what I ended up doing was going into the object, make sure it's center pivoted, and I scaled it up 1.5 to beef it up. So 1.5 all the way down, so X, Y, and Z. And then I took these bolts right here and scaled those up 1.5 and did the same thing to over here, this side over here. I moved in position, repositioned those. I went ahead and scaled this handle by itself at 1.5, but then I had to go in there from the front view and click on the vertices, and I had to make them a little shorter, so I pulled that down and also pulled these in. So that down, and then I pulled these in together, so it looks more like this for the shape. Okay, there's my wireframe, and then I went ahead and scaled this up to whatever scale that I felt that was good. So that's a piece of rubber that kind of protects your hand. And so that's how it looks, and I'm a lot happier with that than the other one. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create latches. Now, you can make these really intricate or just keep it very, very simple. So we're going to kind of keep it simple, and we can add definition or detail to the latch later if we want to. So we could have two pieces as the latch, and so we're going to go ahead and just use a cube and just kind of size that, scale that up, and we're going to use one latch for both. I'm going to go ahead and Control D and and move that down. Okay, so there's like a piece between them. And we'll keep it simple too. Again, we're going to go in here and do a Control D and scale that down into these two pieces, so it looks like there's something that's latching between the two, something like that. And to make things look a little interesting, we can double click and just select the outside edges and do a bevel on that to make things look a little more interesting. So we're going to go to Edit Mesh and Bevel, and that's a really small bevel, so I'm going to Control Z back, go into the option box, and segments we're going to go to 1, and we're going to bring this up to 0.4 and then bevel. There we go. So that looks a lot better. Okay, and so we'll do the same thing to this one right here. So go to Edge, select the edges. There we go, and go to Bevel. There we go, and then this one, this piece right here, we'll have to thin this out a little bit. So select it, and scale that down and move it back a little bit so it fits in there. There we go. Okay. Alright, so the bottom portion of this guy right here, we need to bring that up. Okay, so we're not scaling it, we're just bringing it up. There we go. Let's do the exact opposite. Let's do this one here, and let's bring that down. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that looks good. And let's go in here. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to go in here and select these two guys. Shift select these guys and go into Combine. Go to Modify, Center Pivot, and let's place that from the front, the top view here, onto this piece. Okay, and move that up. Okay, something like that. And we want to kind of move these out until so they just barely touch. So let's move these out a little bit. And let's go ahead and separate. So I'm going to click on this icon up here. Click on this guy here and move that down. I'm going to go to, let's select all three of them and go to modify center pivot. And let's click on this guy right here and move it down so it's selected right there. And move that piece in, and then this piece right here. Move that up a little bit, move this down a little bit. So now we have that latch for this box. Okay, so that's the big one. And then then we'll select these guys and do a combine, and then do center pivot. And then Control D for duplicate, move that over to this side. And we're not going to scale that in, we're going to go to the, I think, yeah, there we go. Hit the F key. And let's kind of position this, and then we're going to go to vertex mode and move this in so it kind of fits half. So half, kind of a little bit on each side here, keep it proportional. And that's how those will look. There we go. Make sure they're on the surface there. Okay, that looks good. And one of the things we need to do is what I noticed from the side view is that it is rounded right there. That's kind of strange. So right click over this vertex, and we want these to be pushed in so it lays flat. This one's okay. That looks good right there. This one here needs to be we need to do the same thing. So go in here and select these guys and move that back. And then we're going to take this guy right here and duplicate it over to this guy over here. Go to front view and move it and center it. Here we go. Okay. Awesome. So there are the latches. Okay. Now you probably want to lay out the UVs, and when we lay out UVs, we'll talk about this. That you don't need to have this one. You don't want to lay out these separately. So lay out the UVs for that one, and then duplicate it over to that side. So we'll basically just delete this for now. So this will have UVs, that will have UVs, and we'll UV this and all this stuff in here, and then we'll go to, and then we'll mirror this one over here, and then this latch, the whole assembly over here. And anything else you want to add to this physically, to the low poly, you can. And I'm hovering around 482 faces. We have up to 800, I believe. So that's kind of where we need to be. Anyway, we're good. Don't go over 800. You'll be alright. So you can add some more stuff in here if you want. Alright, so laying out UVs, again, is pretty easy. I like to keep the latches separate. In fact, we'll probably separate everything, like the bolts and stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select the entire thing and just click on separate. And it may not let me do that. Let's go ahead and separate these guys. There we go. Let's separate these guys. So once you get them in place, go ahead and separate the pieces that are together. Let's separate those. And these over here, I'm just hitting the separate key. There we go. So now it's ready to go. So select the whole thing, go to Edit, Delete by Type History, and only do this when you're ready, when you're finished modeling. And then Modify Freeze Transformations, and Modify Center Pivot. There we go. So now we're ready to UV map. Alright, so in the next video we'll go ahead and UV map, and we'll see you